Well, look, everybody was talking last night, not just about Nancy Pelosi tearing the speech in half, but today we're talking about the Democrats who were sitting during obvious moments where anybody would clap, and Democrats who walked out and, of course, had to post their walkouts on social media, and Democrats like AOC who flat out didn't show up at all because they didn't want to legitimize things, and all these other crazy things. But people ask today, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? Why won't Nancy Pelosi put a stop to it? Why isn't Democrat leadership doing something? It looks absolutely terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, look, there is oftentimes a big difference than the person who's the leader and the one who's calling the shots. Those two things sound like the same thing. They're not the same thing. Nancy Pelosi is the leader of the Democrat Party right now. Nancy Pelosi is not calling the shots. Yes, she can be petty with her stupid tearing and it was a nice thing to do and how awful she comes off. Yeah, all those things are true. But the truth of the matter is this. She didn't want to do impeachment. That's why she held off impeachment as long as she could. Remember when she had those private conversations with AOC and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib very early on when they were going crazy and making dumb statements every day? And everybody knows they got pulled behind closed doors and told, shut up, just stop talking. However, that radical nutjob freshman wing, that leftist crazy base, they're calling the shots now. Nancy Pelosi is not calling the shots anymore. She doesn't have the numbers to call the shots anymore. She doesn't have the energy to call the shots anymore. And as a result, she has to sit there like a bump on a log behind the president during the State of the Union and watch Democrats sit on their butts during the most obvious clapping parts ever. And why is this a big deal? Well, Democrats have an image problem. What have I told you several times? Democrats have a patriotism problem. They always have. It's just always been gnawing at their party. And look, when your party stands for more government control in a country that was founded on limited government control, you are oftentimes going to be thought of as unpatriotic. However, it's not how it looks to Republicans. It's not how it looks to Democrats. It's how it looks to relatively normal people who can be, swung either way. I voted for Obama a couple times. I voted for Trump last time. That person is not a severe, serious politico hanging on every word. That person hits the high points. That person tunes into things like, the State of the Union. And so when they're talking about people dying and you can't be bothered to stand on your feet and clap, kind of a big deal. When they're talking about the Tuskegee Airmen and you can't be bothered to stand on your feet and clap, kind of a big deal. Again, not a big deal to Republicans who hate you anyway, not a big deal to Democrats most of the time, but the people who can have their vote swung, they look at the television set with you sitting there and they think, that person hates America. You don't have to stand up and cheer for Republican issues. But when Donald Trump, the president of the United States, says things like record low black unemployment, you better get off your tuchus and cheer. Otherwise, it looks like you don't care about record low black unemployment. And you know what? Even Democrats, especially those older school Democrats, the Bill Clinton era and older, they look at this party now and they're like, wait, what? Listen to this caller from C-SPAN.
Kathleen in Placerville, California. Good evening to you. What's your reaction to the speech?
I agree wholeheartedly with the other callers. I am a Democrat as well, but no longer will I vote Democrat. I think it's outrageous that they sat there when all these good things are happening to our country and how much we love our country, and they looked like they hated our country. And Nancy Pelosi, the whole time she's sitting up there with a disgusting look on her face, it's outrageous. I will never vote Democrat again, and I'm sick of it, and my whole family feels the same way. My husband, my friends are sitting here, all former Democrats. We all voted for Hillary last time, and therefore never, ever will we ever vote Democrat again.
They've become the small tent party. They've become the party that is driving people out of the tent at a time when Republicans have open arms. They're welcoming them all in. You want to talk about black voters, which are a key part of Democrats winning national elections? Barack Obama was elected president twice because he got 98% of the black vote. Donald Trump is expected to get 10, 15%, maybe more. There are people who say 30%. I think that number is crazy. It's not out of the question. While Democrats are busy running Democrats, fellow Democrats, out of their party, Donald Trump is out there running ads during the Super Bowl showing what he's done for black people in America. He's talking about record low black unemployment. He's introducing Tuskegee Airmen and their grandsons who are going to the Space Force. Do you think people are blind? Do you think people, maybe black people, have eyes and can see, wait a minute, somebody cares about me and somebody doesn't care about anything? They can see. People can see what's happening. And granted, I'm a Republican hack. I admit that. I'm a total right-winger, and I always will be. But even I can look and say, this Democrat Party has completely lost its mind. And it's because the old guard, the guard of Nancy Pelosi, they've lost control of the party. They don't have the numbers anymore. They don't have the age anymore. Look, we don't like talking about these things because it makes people uncomfortable, but I happen to enjoy making people uncomfortable, so allow me to just go ahead and say it. All the moderates left in the Democrat Party are too freaking old. No, I don't hate old people. I think they're absolutely wonderful. But the truth of the matter is demographics are destiny, and that comes down to age as well. If all the people in the Democrat Party who are leftist nutjob radicals are 30 or 40, and all the people in the Democrat Party are who are moderates or somewhat the middle of the road are like Nancy Pelosi and they're as old as Methuselah, that's going to be a problem. Here's AOC, the new leader of the Democrat Party.
Reaction to so many people of color being highlighted. I think, again, Trump knows exactly what he's doing. Donald Trump has started giving out cash to Black Americans at his rallies. This whole State of the Union was like a game show where he was handing out prizes and surprises and reality TV moments. And this is exactly his political agenda.
You know what's funny about this? You ready for this? She's obviously right. I mean, look, let's just be honest. That's the best State of the Union I've ever seen, but part of the greatness of it was its brilliance. Donald Trump didn't get up there and make it sound like a campaign speech. Donald Trump got up there and just listed about, all the great things that are going on in America. I mean, I just happen to be president. Oh, you know what? Let me introduce this wife. Her husband's deployed overseas. Oh, but wait, we brought him in for you. You have to stand up and cheer for that. There's an obligation to stand up and cheer for that. It was masterfully done. I'm thrilled he did it. And AOC's right. She didn't go, but she did see the game. She knew the game. Donald Trump destroyed the Democrat Party last night. They are in very deep trouble between the Iowa caucus disaster, last night's State of the Union address, the acquittal we showed you earlier in the Senate. Democrats have had a rough 72 hours. Look, don't just take my word for it. Here's James Carville, not exactly a card-carrying conservative.
It matters who the candidate is. It matters what a party chooses to talk about. I mean, I'm 75 years old. Why am I here doing this? Because I am scared to death. That's why. And we got to let's get relevant here, people, for sure.
So let me see if I understand this right. James Carville, Democrat, and I mean the Democrat's Democrat, he's out there talking to his own party after the Iowa caucuses, telling them to get their head on straight, just so you understand what that means. We are now knee-deep into their presidential race, and we have James Carville on television saying the party's crazy. People, you've had 4 years to get it together. 4 years. There is no change in the game plan now. You remember the Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl we just watched? That would be like the Chiefs coach Andy Reid coming out with 2 minutes left in the fourth saying, guys, you know what? We need to come up with a strategy to win this game. People, the strategy you got now is a strategy you're going to keep, and it ain't a good one. Here's Elizabeth Warren, speaking of Democrat insanity and hypocrisy. Remember the Elizabeth Warren who believes that fossil fuels should be eliminated and we should go to all green energy? You might enjoy this. Yes, that is the Elizabeth Warren getting off a gas-guzzling private airplane, ladies and gentlemen. And look at that. Is that a camera? Somebody walk in front of me. Get the tall girl. Get the tall girl in front of me. And you notice, masterful politician that she is, even though she's already been busted, she stays behind her the whole time. And this coming up is my favorite part of this video, where she magically sees somebody who's away from the camera and she has to greet that person before darting into the airport. Look, never, ever, ever believe these climate change politicians, ever. Even if you're one of these people who believes in it, I don't. But even if you are, these politicians don't give a crap about you, and they don't give a crap about climate change. They'll all be on yachts and private planes, eating caviar and sipping on champagne while you're in a shack somewhere being told how important it is that you've made the right sacrifices.